Hey guys, Andy again. Spoken Dayball back in the house again. Yeah, the reading section with my great friend here, Hon. I'm fully looking forward to this, mate. Take it away.
Thank you. Thank you. I look forward to this too. Also, thank you for suggesting the poems. We didn't discuss this, but during the first hour, we mentioned a few poems. I felt that it's only right that I share those poems. So I'm going to read 5 poems. Four has been mentioned and one hasn't as a surprise. So, of course, I have to start with a title poem to explain why this book is called Self-Portrait as a Banana. So, Self-Portrait as a Banana. So for those who have it, it's on page 33. Self-Portrait as a Banana. Think of myself as a banana. Yellow skin, white flesh. Glaze of tropical sun, fragrance of autumnal breeze. Not as yellow as in yellow fever or yellow peril, but as yellow as a sunflower admiring the golden light. A cab zigzagging along grey Big Apple streets. A submarine hibernating in the deep blue sea. Not as white as in whitewash or white privilege, but as white as a lotus flower serenading the moon, a polar bear melting the Arctic skyline, a vast stretch of snow sharpening the crisp winter air. If I must choose to be one, let me be as bent, bastard, queer as a banana. My skin is in the game. Take care where you step. So that's a title poem, Self-Portrait as a Banana, hopefully explaining why this book is called such and how I use a banana, to rewrite the kind of stereotypical racist language of a banana. So the next poem I'm going to read is a first opening poem in the first section, which is called Summer Hesitations. So this poem was actually written before my trip back to China, actually 2 years ago. I visit parents in China every summer, but of course, was summer in my part of the hometown actually was very hot. It would be about 35 to 40, even 42 degrees. So coming from the very cool UK to the very hot China, I am full of anticipation, but also anxiety. And this poem is written, as I explained, in the form of contrapunto, so with 2 paragraphs. So the first part is about China, and second part is about UK. Summer hesitations. Why do I have to visit China now, in a hot summer where the scorching sun reflects off the glass surfaces of high rises, burn the skin and melts the tarmac? A place where one avoids of discussing politics in case it may bring trouble. A place where people assume I speak fluent Mandarin as a mother tongue, but I don't get many of their popular cultural references. A place where everybody talks about making money and bringing up kids. With these topics, I've got very little to contribute. A place where I must hide being gay and finding excuses to explain why I'm still single, even at my age. A place where I'm seen as a native, but increasingly feel like an alien. Why don't I just stay here? A summer that is neither too hot nor too breezy. A temperature above 30 is extreme heat. A small town where life is uneventful, and I can hear my hair crackling in the eerie silence of the night. A country where the Union Jack flies high against the grey sky, and news about inflation travels fast. A continent where wars are raging on for years on ends, a world where bad news land every day from the other side of the Atlantic, a place where forever seen as a migrant, foreigner, outsider, a place where currently call home but may never completely feel at home. And why there's a summer, and why do I have to decide at all? So that's Summer Hesitation, which is the opening poem to the collection, which probably dramatizes the dilemma of living between cultures, both in China and UK, living in two languages, and well, probably being not good at neither language. So the next poem, which we also mentioned, is on page 36 for those who are following. It's called Passing, which is a poem about my nipple rings. Passing. I speak a standard language. I wear blue jeans and white t-shirt. I have a buzz cut every 2 weeks. Envy this guy with a spiky pink mohawk. That guy with a silver chain on his neck. Another one with a dragon tattoo on his bicep. Being Asian, my body is already a tattooed one. Hidden underneath my clothes, a small titanium nipple ring, intimately rubbing my skin, kissing my flesh. A secret awaiting someone's discovery. One who accepts me, who's trying to pass. So that's my brave courage to be gay and to be Asian. The next poem is on page 69, which is called Your Name. If you can recall our conversation, we talked about it as a concrete poem that scatters everywhere, like how the memory works. Eventually, the memory becomes fading, foggy, blurry, and so on. So, your name. Imagine your name tattooed into my skin, its spelling, its typeface, its location. Imagine my pleasure deciding when and how to review it as our bodies are lit in naked moonlight. Imagine your raised eyebrow, open mouth, because I haven't consulted you about my tattoo. Imagine the guilt, the psychological burden it has on you when we break up. Imagine many years later, I gaze at your name, think of your smiles, tears. Imagine your name, a souvenir I carry, shells from the beach, whispers of the sea. The last poem I'm going to share is on page 64. It's called On the Road. And this poem was actually written in the car when my partner is driving. I seldom write poems in the car, but this is a very rare one. So page 64, which ends our sequence actually, I think, really well, which is about reflection of home and hometown identity and intimacy. On the road, feel the spin of the wheels, the surprise of ramps or potholes, the acceleration, deceleration, sudden turns. Your hands on the wheel, your foot on the clutch, your eyes on the windscreen. Sitting next to you, feeding you a humbug, turning up the radio to sing with Lady Gaga, putting a hand on your knee, your crotch. The splash of the waves is behind us. The moon and the stars hung above us. The vales and dales open their arms and hearts. We drive through the wind, through time, space, aerodynamics, our hair covered with frost as we leave our hometowns behind. Thank you very much.
You're right. That is a really, really good way of wrapping up the set that with that poem there, which we didn't discuss actually, certainly. So, which I really enjoyed that last poem as well, then, on the road.
Thank
And
you.
I kept thinking of Jack Kerouac with that, but I know it's not because it was sort of feel
No.
altogether. I know different sort of road movie. That's why I read that straight away. But yeah,
Yeah, the English country road this time. And of course, I don't drive. So essentially, I've got to learn all those technical terms,
yeah.
clutch, whatever.
Yeah, no, I'll get you completely. With it. I think if you'd been trying to drive and write that poem, you probably wouldn't be here now, to be honest. Unless you're
Yeah.
doing it, unless you're doing dictaphone. I know I've got a friend of mine that does that. He writes all his poems by dictaphone when he's driving around. Then he spends weeks
Yeah,
trying to
I'm
translate it.
envious of that. And people have said that, I mean, comparing fiction writers, poets tend not to drive or tend to be non-drivers, which I'm not certain about, but certainly I'm a non-driver. I don't trust my own driving skills.
I wouldn't trust me in the road either. So yeah, I completely
Yes.
agree with that one. So I know in my cases, I'm blind as a bat and I'm also diabetic as well. So if you let me loose on the road, I'll probably take out people I don't need to take out. But
Oh
listen,
well.
listen, mate. Anyway, mate. Yes, really enjoyed today. That was a really good last piece. That was a great set, mate. So thank you again
Thanks very
today,
much.
Hon. It's been an absolute pleasure, mate. Honestly, when you're ready, let me know. I would love to have you back on here again, mate. There's no arguments on that one with me. So it's been an absolute pleasure
Mhm.
today.
Great. Thanks very much for the opportunity and for the conversation. It
Yeah,
has been my pleasure to share my poems. Thanks everyone for listening.
yeah, indeed for me as well. So thanks again to Hon. Now, okay, wrap up with today as always. As Don Callis over at AEW Wrestling says, stay safe, stay over, and of course, we will see you all next